You ever wonder if there's just one single thing that could unlock your greatest potential? Or, on the flip side, one single thing that causes your biggest setbacks? Well, today we're diving into an ancient text that says the answer is a big yes, and it all comes down to the mind.
We're digging into the Book of the Gradual Sayings, and specifically the very first part, which is sometimes called the Book of the Ones. What makes this text so incredible is its laser focus. It just relentlessly, and I mean relentlessly, hones in on the one thing that can make all the difference in our lives, for better or for worse. So the whole text really kicks off with this huge question. It asks, out of everything in the entire universe, what is the single most powerful thing? What has the most potential to lead us to success or failure, to happiness or to suffering? Just take a second. What would your answer be? And the answer is probably not what you're thinking. It's not money, it's not political power, it's not status. The single most intractable, and that's just a great word for stubborn and seriously difficult to control, thing in the world is the uncultivated mind. This right here, this is our starting point. Okay, so what in the world does an uncultivated mind even look like? The text doesn't just throw that term out there and leave us hanging. No, it paints this really powerful and super clear visual picture to help us get it. And to really get us to see it, it uses this incredible metaphor. It asks us to imagine a pool of water, right? But probably not the crystal clear, tranquil kind you're picturing. This pool is in a whole different state. Yeah, imagine a pool that's just turbid, stirred up, and muddy. The water is murky, it's chaotic, you can't see through it at all. That, the text tells us, is exactly what the uncultivated mind feels like. So what's the big deal about a muddy pool? Well, here's the consequence. When the water's turbid, you can't see what's at the bottom. The shells, the fish, the reality of what's there is just hidden. The text says it's the exact same with a mind in turmoil. You can't see your own profit, your own true nature, and you definitely can't understand what's going on with other people. But in that clear pool, suddenly everything is visible. Okay, so if our mind is this turbid, muddy pool, what's stirring up all the mud? Well, the text gets really specific about the causes. It calls them the seeds of turmoil, the things that cloud our mental waters. So the text has a name for these things, hindrances. And these are basically patterns of attention that if we keep doing them, they just inevitably cause trouble. Things like focusing way too much on beauty, which leads to desire, or fixating on the repulsive, which leads to anger. Then there's sloth and torpor, that heavy, can't-be-bothered feeling, or excitement and flurry, which is just restlessness. And of course, good old doubt and wavering. These are the things that stir the pot. And check this out, this is a perfect example of how this book thinks. It draws a straight line, a direct causal link. It says that giving systematic attention to beauty is the single most powerful thing that causes lust to show up. It's a formula. This input creates this output. Super clear. All right, so we've got a problem, a stubborn, intractable mind all muddied up by these hindrances. But don't worry, the text doesn't just leave us stuck in the mud. This is the big turning point, where we shift from the problem to the solution, the act of cultivation. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the mind is naturally so wild and hard to manage, what can we possibly do about it? Where do you even begin? First, the text makes sure we understand why this is so important. I mean, the stakes could not be higher. Just look at the difference here. An uncultivated mind isn't just tricky, it directly leads to great loss and great woe. But a cultivated mind, it becomes tractable, manageable, and leads to great profit and great bliss. The outcomes are polar opposites. So how do you do it? The solution is actually surprisingly simple. To fight back against those hindrances that are stirring up the mud, you have to give systematic, intentional attention to their opposites. It's like instead of just letting weeds take over your yard, you actively go out and plant a garden. It's all about consciously choosing where you put your focus. Now, as you keep reading this text, you start to feel this rhythm. It's like a drum beat. Chapter after chapter, it just hammers home this idea of one single cause leading to a massive effect. And that repetition is totally on purpose. It's how the lesson sticks. You really start to see this pattern take shape, whether it's a good outcome or a bad one. The text always traces it back to one single root, one single quality of your mind or your actions. It's designed to be totally unforgettable. For example, take negligence. The text is super clear. I know not of any other single thing so conducive to great loss as negligence. Boom. Just that one thing. It's this direct, powerful formula, this cause leads to this huge effect. And then, bam! Right on its heels, you get the flip side. I know not of any other single thing so conducive to great gain as earnestness. This back and forth, this rhythm, it makes the path so incredibly clear. Avoid this one thing and cultivate that one thing. All right, so we've seen the problem, we've seen the solution, but where does this all lead? What's the end game here? What is the highest possible outcome of all this dedicated mental work? The book starts talking about this one type of person, someone who's incredibly rare, like hard to be found in the world rare. This isn't just someone who's skilled or nice. This is someone who has walked this path of cultivation all the way to the very end. And that person is a fully enlightened one. That's it. That's the pinnacle of human potential. The ultimate result of completely clearing that turbid, muddy pool of the mind. And that brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? The Book of the Ones is basically a roadmap. It starts with that chaotic, stubborn mind, points out exactly what causes the chaos, gives us the tools to cultivate it, and then shows us the ultimate destination of that journey. You see, this ancient text isn't just some dusty old philosophy. It's a practical guide, and it leaves us with a really powerful, really personal question. Based on all this, what is the one single thing, maybe it's earnestness or kindness or just paying attention, that you can give a little systematic focus to right now to bring just a little more clarity to your own mind?